All right. Yep. It's going. All right. Get to start. 10%. I'm sure this one's going to take a while to get loaded.
Yeah, it
The
takes
big
a minute.
map.
It's Yep.
I mean, yeah, the file size. Like I said, it took five, maybe 5 minutes to download. I I guess I thought it was going to be like something really crazy time to download,
Well,
but
I think the first time I downloaded it, it did.
I
That's
mean,
why
it
I'm
was
a little shocked.
700. I mean, it's 735 megabytes. That's that's not small, but it definitely took a long. Didn't take as what I thought it would.
Yeah.
I shared out a little bit on Facebook there, so I don't know. Well, hopefully somebody will come on in to either mine or well, they'd have to do some just a little extra hop, skip, and a jump to get into yours, just because I just spammed my link. I guess you could say.
Oh, I just figured out what you meant by desktop audio. I kept turning up the wrong one.
Okay, yeah, just because that's that is how
I was
everybody that is how is
I
everybody's hearing it on mine. Is that's how they're hearing
you
you.
keep saying desktop audio, and I'm like thinking, okay, well I've turned up the laptop as high as I can go.
Yeah, well,
It's
in
like
in
I didn't think I needed to look into my I didn't think about it till just now that I needed to turn it up on my on OBS.
yeah, OBS or Streamlabs. Oh, there we go. Too long to load.
This first field is a doozy. It's really tall corn.
Okay,
I'm doing it with GPS. It's not gonna be too bad.
okay.
I don't know if you want to help in or not. Um,
I
or if
am.
you want to let me to do it.
Hmm, they just pressing the left D pad usually gets me into something kind of screwy.
Oh, you got to join the farm. You haven't joined this farm yet.
Well, what? Well, I joined your game. How do I join the farm
Yeah,
then?
but you got to join the farm. It's a separate
Oh,
thing.
there it is. Okay, I guess that's right. I did had to do that before.
And then
Been a
I
while.
need
Okay,
to.
there we go.
Yeah, because that's not something we do every day. Because you were on the other, you were already automatically already on the other farm.
Well, clicking on it. Why in the hell is it not? Oh, farm. Okay. Oh, oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, you got two pickups. Got lime
Yep.
here. I'm in.
No, this is solid fertilizer.
Or fertilizer, whatever.
You can look around it. You can look around
Yeah,
if you
actually,
want.
probably better get my bearings, so I'll drive around with the camera going. Okay. Yeah, maybe I should do that.
Because like I said, this field is really tall and it probably needs
Okay, I can already
GPS
see
to do it.
something wrong. If this is supposed to be Nebraska, there are some big hills in the background. Of course, I guess it's supposed to be more towards the sand hills, but they're not that big.
Yeah.
Maybe okay, unless they're emulating near like Scotts Bluff and stuff, kinda. That's it.
Well, I think Rushville's north of where we grew up, though.
Well, that's it. I was watching some videos on it, and it's like, trying to. I mean, yeah, we have rolling hills, but it's out here that are often distance looks. I wouldn't say mountains, but hillier than. Yeah, maybe I'll just look around a little bit. Yeah, these are, I mean, I can already tell these are big fields.
Yes, they are. Oh, speaking of maps, so um Welker Farms finally dropped this week.
I
The
saw, you know what? It's funny. I saw it pop up um because I had started the game up to download these maps and stuff, and I went to other maps just kind of seeing. I just clicked on there because I thought, oh yeah, it's got to be in there because I kind of didn't think, and I saw it there. I was like, oh, Welker, and then I saw posts about it, people talking about it, and
yeah.
I was kind of like, oh, okay, that's
So so that one and Stone Valley is the other one that eventually I want to do multiplayers on, but those I'm kind of thinking we can always we can always get Derek definitely on. So, but um this one, is a little bit iffy obviously, so
yeah,
but now that they're out and both of those maps are really popular maps, they'll probably stay. Well, Welker is actually. I think Welker actually came to be because Giants made it a DLC one year, and so that one's actually controlled by Giants. I
okay,
think Stone Valley is actually made by somebody else, and Stone Valley is actually a 2x, so it's about half this size. Um, but it is actually Stone Valley is about like what we grew up with, roughly.
okay. You know, actually, I take it back. Other than off in the distance, doesn't really look like Nebraska. Um, oh, you got traffic on this one, or maybe that's just
Yeah,
part
they
of it.
they they evidently finally updated it, so now I don't feel so.
Okay,
Um,
because the tractor's in the road, they're just stopped. Um,
yeah,
you know what? The
I don't
roads
feel
feel
like.
like Nebraska, and some of
Yeah,
the trees. So it's kind of like, okay, so in here we must be a river or river or something.
yeah,
Uh, or creek or something. So, but I'm over by the shop. Okay.
yeah. I see that. Um, I was looking to see where you're at. If you go to the left of the shop
I wish.
and then down the corner, you'll see the farm that we own.
Yeah, I see. I'm coming
And if
up on you. I could make the map in the a little bit bigger. I wish it had like.
you hold the left top button with your finger and then press down on the joystick,
Oh, that's
and
right.
it'll change the sizes.
That's right. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I see. Yeah, that's a little better. It takes up more of the screen when I'm driving around. That's what I need.
Yeah,
Because I can't get my bearings. I wish it sort of it was like GTA. Well, that's what I feel like it should be like GTA where the little marker like where your mission is should uh be so you can just drive to that, kind of thing.
yeah.
Oh, we got a tractor supply here. Well, that's definitely
Yeah.
okay.
And if you go to the towns, they actually have fast food restaurants.
Okay, well, they got Runza. See they
No,
see
it's
they
more
see if
like
they're gonna be a Nebraska map, you gotta have. I mean, come on.
They only have like KFC and maybe McDonald's or something like that.
Johnson's. You gotta have
They
Casey.
might have
God, they
they
got
might have a Casey's.
which. Well, that'd be kind of cool. Oh God, they got Pepsi and Coke. I wonder if that's officially you got to pay for that.
No, because this is a third party
Oh,
map.
okay. Got Gardetto's in there.
If this was a Giants map, they couldn't have that stuff. But since it's
Well,
third party, they
yeah,
can they
okay.
can put anything they want in it.
Well, they can unless Coca-Cola decides to say something.
Well, actually,
I
no,
mean,
I
they
don't.
probably wouldn't, but if somebody thought they were making, if they thought they were making money, you know how them
But
corporations.
they're not making money on this. So I
No,
think
but
that's how they get
still,
around
they're
it.
just like, oh, well, you got to pay us even if you're not making money. I don't know. They're funny. It's just like YouTube. Like, okay, you're not making any money, but you can't stream song.
Yeah,
What the hell are you spraying corn? Oh,
and fertilizing
too
corn.
tall
Yes,
for it.
I know, but it was a contract, and we need the money. We only have like
I know.
$58,000.
I was like, you're over here, but I can't see you. I'm like, it can't be this field because it's freaking grown. Okay, well,
You and I, the equipment that we're in, you and I are sitting on like $100,000 contracts of in
okay,
but I can only open three contracts, and our equipment is for those $100,000 contracts, and um
okay. Oh,
so we have one that's not open. I mean,
okay.
one that
Well,
is
you know
open.
what? Where was the crop damage?
No, I don't. And I turned off. I can turn it back on if you want, but I turned off fieldstone and lime and weed
Okay, no, I don't.
because
Well, not that I
I
care.
I guess I guess my opinion is as much as we play, which is usually once a week, that might be a little bit too much for 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 progressing the map. You know.
Yeah, back this tractor. Oh, okay. The AI worker. Oh, I was like, oh, you had the AI worker on. He ran into a telephone pole. That's why it was just off on the side. Because
Oh,
I drove
yeah,
by it and I'm like, huh, why would you put it there? But it's like, I didn't think anything of it, and the cars and traffic were stopped.
yeah. I had the AI drive it to the field. That's
Okay.
why.
Now, which field can I do? Do I got to get in 7? I mean, you're gonna be done with that, or
Um. Well, that's the tricky
can
part.
we only
You
do
could
one at a time? Or I've
no,
never
we
done
could
any.
we can do so. We've got three contracts out right now, and
So do
you
I?
can
So I got to go
do
to like
three.
8 or 9. Is that where I want to be?
You could do no. The other two contracts are 3 and 5. You can see them by the blinking numbers.
I don't see any blinking numbers. I just see orange and white.
No, there's on your map there should be blinking numbers.
Oh, nothing's
The
blinking.
above the colored numbers is one of them because 5 is above the colored numbers, and then the field I'm
Hold
in
on,
is
hold on.
blinking.
Well, I wasn't in the. Oh, 5 is not blinking. None of mine are blinking. So should 7 be blinking because that's what you're in?
Yeah.
It's not.
Why is that would be weird.
Yeah, on neither map, not the small or the big one. So I guess just tell me which one I can do. Can I do? Uh,
Shoot, I wonder if it's because because I am the one that accepted it, but that shouldn't be because we're.
Well, do I need to go to somewhere in the settings or
No.
to accept a contract? I guess I haven't ever done that yet. I haven't played by myself enough.
Well, you can't because I have all the contracts up. That's gonna be what the problem is. I'm looking here because I set all the settings. You should be able to. You can manage contracts. I'm wondering if well, so if you let me get this field done, and then when I get this field done, there'll be contracts opened up, and then you may not be able to use that tractor, but you can get another one, and we'll be able to. Because I just leased the tractor, and I'm almost done with this field. I didn't know it did that. I guess I learned something.
That's what I'm saying. You're one blinking. So even if I went in that field and just started going, it wouldn't count for.
Well, I don't know. Go. Why don't you go in the field and see what'll tell you what'll it'll tell you that you can't do the field if it's gonna have a problem. So if you go into this field and turn on your fertilizer sprayer to see if it works or
Okay.
not.
Um, I can't tell where you've been, but
Don't worry about that. Is it letting you spread?
Yeah, with it all grown, how can I?
Don't worry about that. Just look to see if it's coming out the back end.
Well, it is, yeah.
Okay, well then then you can do contracts. So what I would suggest is right above us is field 3.
Yeah. So is 8 and
Go
9 because they're orange? We own them or whatever.
yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll go to. Well,
Yeah,
that's right.
so if you
You're
go up,
right. If I couldn't turn the spreader on, then yeah, I didn't have access to.
yep. And I can I can tell you see well you could look too, but I can tell you if you're working on
Well, let me get there.
yeah,
Up
I
over
can
the
tell you
hill.
if it's counting or if it's counting or not. You'll be able to too, but
Well, yeah, I saw a little metric somewhere that said 7% of something at the time. I
yeah, yep. It's on the contracts. If you go in the contracts, it tells you how much you get then.
grown too.
Oh,
Well, I mean, it's
because if they're grown, it would be so much easier to do with GPS on.
I don't know what's in this field.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, it's letting me do it, so it must be
Yep,
contributing.
yep.
Okay. Not too glitchy. There's a few stutters here and there.
Think it as long as I guess as long as it's not terrible. Yes, you are counting on that field. So
But one person watching, where can't I can
Uh,
see I got my restream the chat up, so and it has a little eyeball and shows how many viewers.
so I invited MJ tonight, but he jumped on at the beginning of my stream and he told me that they had bad storms come through and they knocked out his internet.
Oh,
Otherwise, I think he was planning on joining us.
yeah, that's all right. We'll work my way on that. I don't mind this stuff. I know might not be somewhat Eric, I guess, a little bit, but
Oh, well, I don't think this was so bad for him. It was the potatoes he
potato.
thought was
Well,
so
and,
much
and
worse.
honestly, I kind of well, I don't know about the potatoes, but the sugar beets,
The, the
I thought was
so
kind of
the
fun, different. I mean, yes, it's slow, but it's kind of neat to try and I wasn't using the GPS, but drive it on the rows the correct way, and
well, and that's it. So sugar beets and potatoes are very similar. So you pretty much you experience one. It's maybe the only difference is it's a different machine, but it does basically the same thing. Um, so yeah, I think that was that was it. I get it because it doesn't do too many rows at once, so it just seems so tedious and
yeah, but it was kind of neat, different to have to unload the way you had to unload and kind of shuttling stuff around because the equipment was a little smaller, or didn't hold like the big grain carts we were using before.
yeah. We get to making whiskey on this map, and we'll have to.
You have to
You'll
move the
have to
barrels
use your.
around or something.
Yep, you'll have to. You'll have to use your forklift skills to load up the trucks so we can sell them.
Oh, great! I had a hard enough time scooping that grass out of the playground.
No,
But once
actually,
I figured it out, it wasn't too bad. It's just my hands, to run the controls fluidly. If I had the real sticks and stuff, no problem. But
I think I think a forklift might be a bit easier.
well, I used one
Or
because
in I know you've seen me in stream. That's why I tend to use the Bobcat a little bit because it's a little bit easier to maneuver sometimes, and it's um. But a forklift is probably just about as easy.
Well, I used one small forklift because I was like, well, how am I going to load this stuff, on no man's land? So I bought a forklift to load it in the back of the pickup. And that was the thing. I got this push mower mod because I wanted it. And then I'm like, oh God, I got to walk this thing clear back to the farm. So I'm like trying to load it in the back of the pickup. And of course, you can't pick it up with your hands, or at least I can't figure out the super strength mod or whatever. And, um, so I like bought a forklift and I tried to lift it. I could get it lifted up, but I couldn't really get it back in there. Eventually, I got it into the pickup. No, I got it on the flatbed. I couldn't get it in the pickup. It just wouldn't tip off there. I got it on there. It rode all the way back there without falling off. Then I get there and it's like, how am I going to get this off? It's like, oh, I'll step up here. I'll get in the vehicle. And when I did that, I fell off. Well, it fell off the flatbed and then was upside down. So I was upside down in the map, like underground. And then I couldn't get it flipped back. Well, without resetting it, I guess. I couldn't figure out a way to get it flipped back over. So my lawnmower's next to this rock upside down, and I can't use it. I guess that's the challenges I found with that is like simple things like I want to load this. There's no way to do it.
Yeah,
Or like I want to. not all the equipment. I mean, obviously 3-point stuff won't, but um, I couldn't get the pickup wouldn't drag or couldn't pull or wouldn't hook up to some of the equipment. And then like when I bought that F20, that thing, it's just slow driving. It's a slow tractor. That took forever to get back there because I had to drive it, and it's like,
Yeah.
and I didn't know
Yeah,
how
that
AI
that
workers
that
worked yet at that time.
well, that's I mean that was the thing. That was my frustration in the previous versions is because people and it wasn't just people, it was also giants would set the store so far away, and so if you bought equipment, I felt like that's pretty much half of what I was doing all the time was like just driving equipment
Driving
to a
around.
field.
Yeah.
That's what I love about this version so much is because I don't have to I don't have to do that.
Well, that's the thing. I couldn't figure out how to just, when I buy it, plop it at the farm. I guess
So there is a mod. It's called Store Delivery if you want to just plop it at the farm.
well, that's
And
kind
it,
of,
it charges you and it charges you a delivery fee.
well, I'd probably gladly pay that.
Yeah, it's not terribly steep if I remember right. I don't know how much it is. It's based off a percentage, so it's like something like 2.5% or something of what you paid for the equipment. So something big like a big bud might actually cost you like 10 grand to haul,
Well,
and
that
then
makes sense. Well, and I bought
something
the
like a
old flatbed pickup because I thought, oh, well, it'd be neat. I can haul equipment, which I can, but like only kind of certain things. Like the
yeah
small stuff, like that sickle bar mower, I had to basically just walk over there.
yeah
Um, and again, this push mower, I wanted to be able to mow my lawn. Well, whatever you would want to call mow around my trees, junk pile, I guess. My junk
yeah
piles. I haven't gone in there. That's something me and Tucker have been doing, but we've been doing other things, playing Legos and stuff outside because it's been nice. But I've been placing some junk. I got a junk car pack. It's off of some website and putting junk cars in the tree.
oh yeah
I'm having more. I'm almost having a little more fun just decorating the place up. I mean, it's a mishmash. I mean, was kind of just learning. I really need to just start over and then really try to make it not like survival mode, but just maybe just make it look somewhat as more realistic than what I got going. Because I just started buying like, okay, we're gonna just have this, because I got to be able to load stuff.
yeah
I didn't realize some of the accessories that come on the base stock map you can move around, like the gas cans and stuff like that.
yep yep that's something
Except for they aren't the third party like pickup mods, like that old pickup. I tried putting the gas can in the back. Well, it rode for a while and then it fell out the bottom, so like it's not really made to haul anything
yeah well
necessarily.
they evidently didn't have it completely fixed.
Unless I guess maybe I didn't try doing the straps or whatever. But
Yeah, but if you put it in like a stock pickup from base game, as long as you're not getting super crazy and hitting bumps and stuff, it should stay in the box, even
yeah, this
unstrapped.
this this it wasn't. It didn't fall out because of that, because it fell out the bottom. Uh, truck. And that was the other thing, I was going to try and haul grass in the pickup before I had the grain truck, and I thought it was loading it, and then when I drove away, there was just a pile there, so that didn't work. But the grain truck was able to haul it. I thought so. We hauled a load of grass to the sell point. About $500, I think. I noticed our money went up, but now it's going down because we're fuel, I guess.
Okay, so it went up because I completed the contract,
Okay.
and then it went down because I bought limes so I could do the next contract.
Oh, okay. Here's the thing with the fertilizer. Now, I basically made a round to kind of do a headland, I guess, but
Yep,
I don't know where I've been.
I know. I'm hoping I got this. I'm going down to this field to check it out now. I'm hoping that it's maybe something that could be seeable, and I'd switch you.
I'm just kind of guessing my overlap. I guess.
I'm all the way at the bottom of the map.
Yes, I wish that's one thing. I just have the map reduced to the little circle. I wish at least it had like a around the perimeter. It's like, okay, this is where where you're doing multiplayer. It's like, okay, this is where you are, kind of thing.
Oh yeah,
Again, I'm thinking like GTA. It's like, okay, it should have a little icon for your farm, like pointing to it, so you know you're going
yeah.
the right direction. If you forget, and then like where your multiplayers would be at, even in just single player, just had an icon for the shop and the and your farm. That'd be all I. Don't know what field I'm in or what's growing here. I can't quite tell. That
If you jumped out of your tractor, you could check real quick because it pull it up on the field info.
okay, Milo. Well, I kind of thought it looked like. Wasn't quite sure. Okay. Well,
Yeah, this
it's white. It's white, so it's turning yet. Maybe it's not red.
I don't think they made sorghum go completely like what we see. Nope, this is sunflowers and this is grown, so I need I'll need to do I'll have to do the GPS on this. So don't worry about the overlap. I think because technically I guess he could be wasting fertilizer on an overlap, but we have a way to kind of get around that, and I think we'll just kind of use it.
Well, I
We'll
guess
cheat.
what I was thinking more is, will it count toward? I mean, count to a completed job. I guess
As long as yeah, it will as long as you keep um.
do it
Looks like
halfway
it is.
good.
You're already at you're already at 28%,
Can't be because
26%,
I made one round and then I'm making one pass across. I mean, that is
27%.
a big field. It ain't. I can't believe it's 20 something percent, over 20%
Yep,
yet.
yep. You're at 27% already.
Okay. It looks like there's. Oh, that's set up. Let's say there's a fire over there. off in the distance.
Oh, yes, I'm on the other side of the map, and I don't know where you're looking at. So
Well, over by the tractors. Yeah, it'd be there's also the farmers market.
we have a while before. So the corn is the first thing we'll harvest, and the barley field just got planted, so we gotta wait a full year for it before it's ready to harvest. So
Now with the whiskey, I mean,
that's
obviously you
why
bottle it and stuff. Now, do you have to mark market it or take it? Take it to some distribution. Do the distribution. I
ye,
mean, once you got a finished product, or no?
technically yes, you're taking it to distribution, but it would be called it's just a sell point, like you sell grain.
Oh, okay, so it
I
isn't
mean,
like, okay, now your
I
now
don't
your now
know.
your stuff is your barrels. Now they put them in bottles and did all that, and then you load the boxes and take them to go around to all the liquor stores. I guess that's what
You
I'm
don't
getting at.
go. No,
Do
it
they
would
make
be
that a
more like
job?
It'd be more like you're going to the head distributor.
Okay.
And they're the ones that go to the liquor store. Um,
See, I figured that'd be a thing. Is then you can do it'd be an option. It'd be a thing you'd have to opt into or what. Get it to the liquor store.
so it looks like July is when whiskey sells the best for whatever reason.
Summertime.
Yep.
I don't know. I figured
And
liquor stores are always busy.
we
Usually.
have we have a lot of places to choose from for sale points. So and I'm assuming that's by liter. I don't know. Yeah, I can see you're doing pretty good. You haven't really missed too much.
Well, I was gonna say it's hard to. I know I missed a little bit on the corner there.
Actually, no, I mean you've really it you didn't miss much. There's two really little spots. That's a you can go in there if if you hit the start menu and go into those maps, you can turn filters on and off, and you can actually see what you've fertilized and what you haven't.
Oh, okay. Well, it's just weird to be
That's
driving on the crop doing it, I guess, but that's
it is. They try to kind of help that. The tractors should have narrow tires on them.
well, somebody
Um,
didn't. That's why I didn't realize this was Milo because it's like we didn't like. There's not the defined rows like there really would be. They're not 36. They're not on 30-inch rows or 30. Well, usually Milo
yeah.
you'd do 30-inch because it's a smaller crop, but most people don't reset their planter just for that. Go. We had somebody in the chat. AB Gamer YT, welcome. Hopefully you're still watching. We're doing the Nebraska map, 4X map. My friend here, he's on another field, so making
Green
whiskey.
Valley, Nebraska.
Yeah, we're gonna make whiskey. Never played on a map this big, so new for me.
We're doing contracts right now because we're waiting for the crops to ripen, and we don't have much money, so we need to make money.
We'll say there's, if this is supposed to be where it is in Nebraska, there's just a few too many trees.
Yep, I agree.
Especially lining the, I mean, a wind, some wind breaks here and there, but like this field is almost surrounded by trees. That's not too accurate unless there's a creek right by it, and there isn't.
Yeah.
That's the only criticism I'd say of the map is that otherwise it looks, and otherwise I think it's a nice looking map.
Yep.
Yeah, just off in the distance looks a little bit more like mountains.
Yeah, I agree.
I was gonna say, just if I just looked off, this looks like down in more like uh, south central Colorado, in the where there's kind of a high plateau, high plains area. So there's mountains all around you. Downward near the sand dunes, kind of looks like that. And then there's
Yeah.
farmland. But I will, maybe not tonight, but I will have to go visit the Casey's if there's a Casey's. Get some pizza.
I believe so.
Right.
It's actually closest to where you're at now. It's just up the road from there.
Okay. Stop and get some pizza.
that old joke about would you believe that the best place to get pizza is a gas station?
I mean, I haven't been able to have it, but I remember back in the day, it's for gas station pizza, it's pretty good, as I remember.
Yeah. Yep, it's still just as good, and now they've kind of expanded it so they can they'll make they'll make you a full pizza, and they've got specialties like a cheeseburger and I don't know what else. They got a bunch.
Yeah, actually, Casey's is kind of, I don't want to say unique, but the only other convenience store I'd say that compares is like 7-Eleven for variety and stuff they have.
See, I haven't been into a 7-Eleven forever because there isn't one around
Yeah, they
here.
aren't around there, but
They used to be, but they aren't anymore.
I mean, 7-Elevens are generally dirtier, but um, they have all kinds of hot food and such, like Casey's
Yeah.
breakfasts and stuff like that. Whereas a lot of your typical gas stations don't, because even you know the Amp Ride Carney Liquor there. I mean, yeah, you had some stuff, but it wasn't anything like Casey.
So
You know,
so I may not have been in Kearney lately, but they apparently sold to Casey's, so now that's a Casey's.
oh, okay. No, I
They
haven't
just
been.
they
Last
they
time I
just
was
changed
that way
it.
was well, that would have been back in February for the career fair.
Yeah,
I
I think just right then, I actually by that time I think they were tearing everything out, but they hadn't put up what it was going to be. Cuz I think it was like April or May when
So
they
is it
finally.
just going to be pretty big Casey's and no liquor store. I
I
mean, they'll have
I have
booze there, but I mean, where
I
half
haven't
was,
been. No, there's no booze. They took all. Well, they kind of took that out. Uh, I think it's just like a big, just a, just a big normal Casey store. I, I'm sure you haven't been in any of the updated Casey's because, they kind of started becoming bigger. So like that whole floor plan that Carney Liquor would be,
yeah.
I've seen some Casey's that are just that big.
Okay, because the only cases I've been in recently, that was this, the twice this summer yet, is in McCook, and those were, well, there's three in that town, all on
Yeah.
the main drag. I don't know how
Yep.
that works, but I only ever go to the east end of town one, or stop there when we're passing through. We never stop at the middle one or the one on the west side, and it's the same as ever. But
Well, and Holders still has two, but see, these are all the old ones. All the the old stores, like the new stores that are building, they're all bigger now. Um, they're in a way. I'm sure you remember that meme. There was a not a meme, but there was a video talking about Dollar General and how they were expanding so bad. They were making fun of them. They were expanding so bad. Like in Dollar General stores, there were Dollar General
yeah,
stores, and
well, yeah,
um, Casey's has kind of Casey's has kind of gone that way too. They're just like they're everywhere.
well, I could see that. Well, that's the thing though, is I can, growing up and stuff, and always traveling through that town a lot, to get out here. Um, there was always those gas stations, and the one on the east end of town, always a Casey's, and then the one in the middle, that was, well, it changed names, but it started as a, I don't know if you remember these, but Coastal. Then it was a,
Uh,
then it was,
Barely.
then it was a Roadrunner. Okay,
I remember those.
yeah, and then it turned into a Casey's. But gosh, they have, well, I mean, one of the other ones, F F FVC, Frenchman Valley Co-op, basically their co-op, is still
Yep.
there. But they had Conoco there. I mean, there was at least like six something gas stations in that town,
Yeah.
all on the main drag. Not that there's much more in that town, but it's like you went one. There was almost one, almost for a little bit, almost every block or two. And then you have the car
Mhm.
dealerships in between, and then there's the furniture store and the drugstore, and like Ace Hardware, True Value, that kind of thing, and then your regular like uh, irrigation pivot, Renke and Valley and all those kind of businesses, motel, and then Napa, and that's about it. Then you have Orchlands up north, and those Donald fast food kind of north. But yeah, it's just weird. I always thought.
It kind of is, and it kind of isn't because you. I mean, we grew up with Am Pride, and they serve pizza and stuff too.
Yeah. Well,
They
yeah,
still
like,
do, and they still do. They still do, but for some reason, they never really blew up.
yeah. Well, and then you have the mom and pops, like, well, of course, Shortstop is, but like the other towns, Bertrand has C plus. That's just a mom and pop, and they have, like they have hot stuff. No, theirs was like Hunt's Brothers, and then down in Franklin had hot stuff at one gas station there, and then,
Shortstop had hot stuff.
well, so Shortstop, that's right, Shortstop had hot stuff, or at least for the longest time. Forget Bosselman, they had theirs even branded, but of course it's funny to look at their rebranding with that wolf or fox type thing.
Yeah.
Just a little odd.
Well, there's there's kind of a story behind why all that had to be rebranded. So the father that owned all the Balsamans passed away, and when in his will, he split the Balsamans up amongst the family, so evenly, except for I think Elm Creek was one, and I'm sure that was one of them. And there was like X number. There wasn't too many, but there was like an X number of them that had to be sold, and
Okay.
so they got sold. Um and so that's why they're all rebranded because in the will it said that they had to be sold off.
I will say though, the rebranding and whatever, whoever's running it and taking it over, um, definitely has improved stuff they're offering and all that. I mean, like mom and dad, they, we never did this out going, never got anything at the gas station to eat other than potato chip snack stuff. And it's like, no, they'll go there for a hot dog or the chicken or whatever they have. I don't know. They got some man
Mm.
crispy critter chicken or something like that. Um,
Yeah.
so I mean, it's still all gas station food, but it's like I said, there's at least some, I guess for gas station food, decent fare, decent selection. They had burritos and whereas I kind of remember when I was growing up, they didn't really have a lot of that stuff. At least,
Yeah.
like that was the thing. I knew from being coming out here and stuff. 7-Eleven, you could all kinds of gas station food, but Bossman, Shortstop had a little bit, but anywhere around here it didn't matter. You barely it was a pizza and that's about it, and maybe a taquito or something.
Yeah. I remember growing up, um so I'm whenever we went to sporting events, say we went somewhere west of Arapahoe, or I should say Arapahoe or anywhere west of there. We always stopped at, I think that was an Ampride, and they were like one of the only Amprides in the area that would serve gizzards.
Oh yeah, um,
So it was kind of a actually when we first started doing it, I wasn't really into gizzards, but my dad was, and we'd if we were coming back from an event somewhere, like we played Cambridge or we were in Arapahoe or Indianola,
yeah, all
I guess
those.
that would have been Republican Valley or some. We'd always stop at that gas station and see if they had gizzards, and then eventually, I don't know if Brooke picked up the love. Oh yeah, she did. So because of my dad doing that, Brooke and I both like became fans of gizzards.
Well, it's funny, I didn't know I liked them until I tried them. I didn't know, but I tried them once, and I was like, oh, I like these, and then I guess I still have memories of going over the sail in, me and you,
Yeah.
and having gizzards.
Yeah.
And sail in, sail in still there, or did it close down?
So no, it is closed. The gal that ran the place wanted to retire, and she had it up for sale for like a year, and no one would buy it. And she had, I don't, I don't know. I don't understand. I guess I don't understand why. Because it was was trying to sell it for like 90,000, and so I don't know if she just had it priced way too high, but then at the same time maybe that's what she needed to get out of it. But
Well, I assume that's for the business, and then still have to rent the space.
you do have to rent the
So maybe
space.
that was it, is business for too much, and then after you factor in the rent, you're well over 100,000. That area is probably just maybe too much. I don't know. I mean, I actually that kind of seemed not too much in my opinion, but
I don't know. I obviously I'm not into restaurants and stuff, so I have no clue if that was too much or not enough.
yeah, I mean, I honestly, when you said 90,000, I was like, oh, that sounds. I wouldn't say cheap, but I wouldn't say that didn't sound too expensive to me.
And I'm sure, like that's what I'm saying. I'm sure with all the equipment that she had in there, and that probably does cost quite a bit, you know.
Yeah, but
But
I mean, if that's including that's what I was thinking is that's including the equipment in there. Had a kitchen and now the furniture probably wasn't great, but I mean, if it came with something, I mean, you got to remember back there, it's like people aren't too fancy, so as long as there isn't too much duct tape on the booths, people don't care too much.
well, they had mostly tables, so there
No, I
wasn't
know what you mean.
anything like
Well,
that.
and I was kind of getting there, think of well, it's not Bugby's, hasn't been Buggy's forever, but KJ's there and Alma, and you haven't probably been in a long time, but I mean, it's the same
I
stuff as when
go maybe
Bugby's.
once a year, once every other
Yeah, I know,
year.
but you know how you sit on the table and the formica is all worn off where the plates
Yeah,
and sit and they wiped them. And I mean, that's the same table, same chairs, same bar stool, same everything since as a baby. I can remember as
yep,
a Tucker's age and younger going in there. When grandma and grandpa would visit and we'd eat breakfast before they left to come back, drive home, you know, same chairs, same everything. I mean, the
yep,
bathrooms are the same. I mean, the fixtures in the bathroom are the same. Believe that.
yep. I do.
Well, and even I swear it's the same damn or it's not paper towel. It's a cloth thing, where you pull it down to get a dry. I think they probably just wind it back up and start over. You know, you know, when it gets to the red stripe, you're supposed to. You're supposed to. I think it's they're launderable, but I guarantee you A and J don't do that so that they could afford the laundry. I mean, I was joking with coworker Chris kind of about stuff or just telling stories, and it's like, I mean, there's compromises either way, and it's like I don't like miss it like long for it, but it's like, yeah, you just don't run into that kind of experience out here, you know.
Yeah,
Other than you find some little hole in the wall in a strip mall restaurant, and yeah, it's a little bit like that. And sometimes those are the best places, especially Mexican or ethnic restaurant. They may not look like much on the outside, but they're they're really they can be really good. Now, granted, my area is high end, but it's not. You don't have those kind of low end strip malls,
yeah.
but you get into certain other areas, and it's just yeah.
Speaking of ethnic foods and mama and pop stuff, so supposedly the truck stop in Overton on the interstate there has really good curry.
Huh.
It but it's like you're saying they're not.
Well,
I was told when they first opened up that shop that that place was really clean, and then one of my coworkers said because he goes there to get the curry every once in a great while, and he said the last time he was in there he said it hasn't looked like they cleaned it since the first day they
no.
opened.
Well, is it Overton? Because maybe that's the one I've seen on I-80. There's a billboard for an Indian restaurant. I'm guessing that's maybe what you're.
Yeah,
But I don't know if
yep,
that's Overton.
it's called the Taste of India, and
Okay,
yeah, it's at
okay.
J
It's funny
Brothers in
because every
Overton.
every time we go that way, uh, get somewhere, um, we see it and it's like, God, we think, how good could that be out here? Because you know, there's a well, there's one right in my neighborhood, basically. It's smallest chain of like 3 restaurants. But I mean, there's lots of Indian restaurants around, and even out here they can vary a little bit. There's ones we, not because they're dirty, it's just tried them and the flavor just isn't as, I don't know, flavorful. It's the best way to
Yeah.
describe it. But so that's what I was thinking back there, but not being that great. But that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Well, and I mean, I've never had curry, so I couldn't tell you. But the guy that my coworker, I mean, he's I would call him like worldly traveled and has tried a lot of different foods all around the worlds and stuff. And I mean, if he says it's good, I'm gonna assume that it's probably good.
Yeah, well, we're just never at the right time to think, oh, well, let's just pull off and try it. Of course, with the kids and stuff, they wouldn't.
To
At least
give
not
you
right
kind of an
now.
idea, so he lives over at Johnson Lake, so he would literally like if him and his wife got a hankering for curry, they would literally drive half an hour just to go get it.
Well, that
You know,
doesn't surprise me because I mean, you just got to drive everywhere, and that's funny thing talking with like people around here, coworkers, neighbors, that only know the city, and it I'm like, yeah, it's an hour one way to go to a real grocery store. I'm not counting like Holdridge back in the day. Wasn't, I mean, we shopped there, but you went to Walmart, you went to the big ones. Us,
well, like what we did. Well, I guess my so we had kind of a split thing. So like my mom obviously worked up here in Holdridge, so
yeah,
um, she could get groceries as she needed to throughout the week. We occasionally went to maybe Hoagland's or well, Stanford at that time
yeah, it had
had
the
a
market.
had a had a small market. But we still went to like once a month. We loaded up in the car and we went to Kearney. And it wasn't always Kearney. Sometimes we'd load up and like you were saying, McCook. Every once in a great while we'd load up and we'd go to McCook just to go someplace different.
Different,
But
yeah. But yeah, that's the thing. Once a month, we did that too. It was a once a month grocery farm parts or supply stuff.
yep, and that's pretty much that's how you spent your day. You went up there and you hit like 10 different stores with and
Yeah,
filled up the car with God knows what, and he came back
exactly. I
home.
mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, and I talked to my coworkers about this. It's like, yeah, as kids, I mean, we had a big car, I just say lead sled, think huge 70s boat, and had a huge trunk, and we were still riding home with groceries and stuff in the back seat.
Yeah.
Like me and Jody'd be sitting in the
Well,
seat. We couldn't see each other because there's groceries in between us or whatever we were buying. But that's the only, I mean, yes, we shopped at Hoagland's too,. But that was just for fill-in stuff.
yeah,
We wanted the
exactly,
bulk.
exactly.
Yeah. um yeah,
Well, and I'm you bring up the lead sled and stuff. We had a station wagon, and so you're filling that thing full too.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, once in a blue moon, we take 2 cars. If Dad had like some hydraulic cylinders or something that either that were too big, we couldn't rebuild or something. Those would go in the pickup and a car. I'd maybe ride with my dad, and we'd go over to um where it is, but out east there. Next to sailing truck and that out kind of out east.
Oh, yeah.
Drop
I
that's
know the area. I don't know who you'd be going to,
Yeah,
but I
I
know
can't
the
remember
area.
what the hydraulic shop was, but it was kind of over that way. And anyway, we'd go over there, and it was, like Mom and Jody'd get started at well, Kmart was the big thing because Walmart
Yeah.
wasn't a super center it was where Herberger's was on the mall. Uh,
Yep.
and
See,
I
we always went to Walmart.
Well, we
I
we
don't
did
ever
both. We
remember
did
going to
both. I
Kmart.
mean, we did both, and of course Target wasn't in town yet. Um, but yeah, it was Kmart and then Walmart. So they'd kind of get started there, and then of course we do a little of the mall. Um,
Yep,
hit
we'd hit them all too.
and then did bulk of the grocery shopping at was it Sunmart at the time, but that was mainly there. And then sometimes we
It
would
was
go to
probably it was a U save before it was
or
Sunmart.
USave. That's it, USave. That's right. I got them backwards. And then sometimes we'd go over to Bob's too. Bob's
Oh yeah.
uh, store there, and then usually hit hit well, it wasn't Orscheln's at the time, it was Wheeler's and Tractor
Yep.
Supply
Yep.
on the way out. Um, and then around the one thing was different, kind of, I always thought was odd, but then we kind of quit doing that. Is we used to go to Hastings around the holidays and go shop at like Allen's, because they had that grocery store. I think it was upstairs, and then like more of a department store stuff downstairs. Because I remember the toy aisles and stuff were down there, but there was also like hardware tools and things. It was kind of a general store at the time. That was in Hastings. We occasionally go there.
You speaking of stuff like that, you remember Coast to Coast and
Oh
Holdridge
yeah.
where
Well, I remember in Alma,
upstairs
but
was
yes, coast to coast.
well,
Actually,
but I bring up Holdridge because like the upstairs was all the stuff they carried in there, but then if you went downstairs, they had all these toys downstairs, but they weren't necessarily like the most up to date toys. They were always like maybe like 3 or 4 years old or something. It was kind of weird because even back then I was just like, well, this is kind of like walking into a time machine.
yeah,
Granted, I didn't know like now it would be like 4 years, whatever. Now I'm talking 20 something, but
yeah. No, yeah.
they
No,
always
I do
had
remember.
they always had old toys, and it was always I always liked going in there just to go look at like, oh yeah, I remember that when that came out like 4 years ago.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Because they could because no one would ever think to coast to go buy toys.
Well, yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, even you know, again, that's one thing we didn't shop at Ben Franklin. When Hannah's own uh Ben Franklin. I mean, occasionally go in there for they had the fabric sections to get stuff, but
Yeah.
we rarely went in there. But oh, it was kind of yeah, I remember that was kind of neat in itself because it was you know otherwise you had to go for a store like that. Otherwise you had to go to Pomida up in Holdridge, obviously.
Yeah.
You wanted kind of department store stuff, but locally. But they always had a little bit of everything there. Just remember the middle candy aisle though. That was the one when you got old enough and stuff, and sometimes walk down from school or something, like if I was staying over at somebody's house or whatever, go and blow money on their candy and because they had all the Sailors, two for $1 packs, and then they had the bubble gum and all that.
Yeah.
That's getting getting off topic, shifting gears here. But speaking of candy in our drive-through candy store, what has happened to candy? It's like there's almost seems like there's less candy these days in general. Not the greatest selection anymore. Like I
I
can't
th-
find a
I
good place for like the just try different stuff. I'm more actually our freaking Ace Hardware that I walk to has probably the best candy section, better than most gas stations. But
I think they all went like all the big they all got bought up by the big people, the
because like you
big
go
companies.
like there's no real candy aisle in Walmart. I mean, yeah, they have the stuff at the registers, but that's just your regular chocolate, this, that, and the other. I'm talking like you know uh, all that I don't know weird or novelty candy. So not that gushers were really that novelty, but things like that, all this push pop stuff, or lick 'em stick, or the lick-a-made where you duck and dump the stick in the powder.
Yeah.
That's yeah, like hell, it's like even hard to kind of find like things like Mike and Hikes or whatever. They're
It is. I have been craving grape Mike and Ike's, and where I used to go get them doesn't carry them anymore, and I have not seen them.
yeah, I don't know if it's just this, well, I mean, you could say our generation who had kids earlier, um, ruined it because like, oh, I'm not gonna rot my kids' teeth or whatever,
Yeah.
or whatever. Just the whole health conscious thing of the kind of the late '90s, 2000s, just finally catching up, and company's not making it. I mean, that's another thing. It's like I'm kind of a gum chewer, and it's like there almost exists no gum that has like real sugar in it. It's all that fake crap, and some of it just doesn't taste right because of it. I almost can't chew it because I
Yeah.
don't like that fake sugar taste.
Speaking of speaking of candy companies, I think it was Hershey. They um there was some big penal or big stuff going on with the FDA and something about. I'll have to hold on a second. I'll have to look it up. Um, let me let me tab over because I want to get this right. What I'm saying. It just came out last week. I think it was last week.
I still haven't seen anybody who's opened a drive-through candy store. Our dreams still be the first. For our drive-through liquor store.
Shoot.
I guess
Now
maybe
I'm
we
not
should have a
seeing.
have a we could have a delivery app of for candy or whatever.
Goober candy.
Well, I was saying Uber candy.
No, I know, but I'm just saying.
Goober
I
candy. Yeah, there you go.
I
Yeah.
I can't find the article. I saw it last week. I read the article. It was some about what they had in their chocolate wasn't healthy for you.
Hmm.
I mean, obviously candy isn't healthy for you, but like this was like really not good. Um, and then they were getting sued over it. I thought some gal in California was suing
Oh,
them, and that's how they kind of found out that this was actually in there.
I guess I hadn't ran across that, but I don't. I real.
I swore I read that article last week. It was like last week or the week before, and I know I read it, but yeah, I can't find it now. It's like they it's like they put it out and then they just took it down the next day.
Oh, I keep forgetting to send you. Maybe I'll send you in Discord when we get done with this. At least a link to the first episode, then you could follow along from there. There's only four, maybe five, but it's a channel called Junkyard Digs, and it's can we farm with abandoned farm equipment?
Uh,
It's
you know,
Katie's even
you,
into it, and it's very much me, Derek, Jeff, you. Uh, Only they're just like when we're doing just getting the motorcycles and just finding them, fixing them, running them, then throwing them away. You know, uh, it's pretty hilarious actually.
yeah. Did they I was gonna ask because I saw something this week, and maybe it was something else. Did they like buy a $700 tractor?
Well, they bought a Farmall H. I'm not sure what they paid for it. It could be.
I don't know if it was. I don't know if it was a farm all because it was a. Was it a cab over? I mean, was
No,
it a
no,
cab?
no. I
Okay,
mean,
so then it wasn't. So I saw another one this week that was they they bought this tractor for it was a tad different than what you're talking about. They bought a tractor for $700 and they're like, "Will it run?" And
yeah,
it
there's a
kind of
lot.
looked like they're trying
This
to
is
do something
kind of like
about
that. There is a lot of this been sitting for X amount of years. Will it run? Kind of deal. Um, and I mean, there's just that's kind of to me, it's getting a little played out. But
yeah.
this is a little different angle because they have. I mean, they have like 6 acres or whatever, but it's like okay, it's like well, we got to find a tractor, we got to find a disc or a disc harrow or cultivator, and then the one I just recently watched, they got a sprayer so they can spray the weeds and the corn. Although couldn't get it running and get things going in time, and corn got up, and in my opinion, the corn was a little too tall to be spraying, but like the spray wouldn't get down to the weeds, but um, they bought a planter. Planter's a little too new for the tractor. I mean, but whatever. Um, but and I don't know how long it takes them to get videos out. They started this back in the obviously the spring before you'd be planting corn. Um, well, actually, more almost in the winter, and but they're kind of just finding the equipment. Like they don't have a grain truck, they don't have a combine, or and a corn head. They're gonna have to go find that.
And that's probably the one thing I'm most interested in, and only from the point of view is I've been I've been driving by this it's a sand pit, and the guy that owns the sand pit is notoriously known for going to auctions and just buying random crap.
Hmm.
And they the story is, so he goes to auctions, buys random crap, and then he just piles them up in a sand pit in the empty free space that he has. And his kids who they can't really say anything, or they they go out there every once in a while, and they just few pieces of equipment just happen to disappear because they're trying to get rid of it so they don't have to deal with it too much down the road. But
Yeah.
anyways, he has an older combine, but it's so small compared to, it's like it's like the size of maybe like an F-350 now. I mean, it
Oh.
is so small, and it's just kind of got me into wondering. It's like if if a person was to maybe do like a hobby farm and just wanted a little bit of equipment. I know they make the tractors that you can do that with. I'm sure you could probably find the cultivators and the planters and stuff. I'm like, but what do you do when you get to the harvest part? Because all the combines you see now are just so freaking huge. How would you? And it, I That's the only part that I can never really figure out. I have seen smaller combines, but they only exist in like Brazil. So I don't know if you'd have to like bring them over to do that, or
There we go. There we go. Roller. But
did I lose you?
no. Well,
I must have lost him.
Yeah, something went haywire. Something went haywire. I don't know.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. What? All right, can you hear me?
Oh, now I can. I was like,
Okay,
holy
my
crap.
mic disconnect, like my USB device is disconnected for some reason because like I had no control over my tractor and now, but that's the thing, my controller's not working, so trying unplugging it, out swapping it. I don't know if that's causing the problem.
It's like I don't know how close to the end of my story you were.
Yeah, let's see. Well, I might have to quit the game because um yeah, my controller's not working, but maybe I can do the keyboard. Yeah, I don't know. I lost.
That's okay. We can always I mean that's
Yeah,
10:30 my
I might
time,
have
so
to. Let me see here. How?
I'm gonna drive back to the farm and load up with lime, and then I'm gonna drive to the next field. So
Okay, well, I could use the.
before
I can
before I
use the
definitely quit,
ASDW. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. For whatever
gonna be
reason,
like
my
Derek.
controller. Yeah, that's gonna be terrible. You know what? I'll go. Well, I'll put it put it where I left off because I know. Yeah, I can't drive. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to. Yeah, yeah, I don't know what happened there, but yeah, I lost. Actually, I don't have mouse control. Okay. Oh, there we go. Get to the map. Okay, there it is. But yeah, I don't have my controller, so yeah, I'm gonna have to cut out of this game. I'll just leave it
Okay.
where I.
Yeah, that's fine because it'll save
I'm
there.
over. I'm about half done or over half done. How can I look and see how much I got, where I'm at, or what I got?
Okay,
I'm
so
at the map screen.
um okay, so if you look to the right, there's a thing that says filters.
Mm, right? I don't.
Yeah. Are you in the start map? I guess I should ask what
No,
map
I'm
you're
just in
in.
the map where you'd move around and look around. Like I see where you're at.
Hold on. Are you still streaming?
Yes, I am.
Okay, let me jump over. I can tell you if I can see it because that's
Oh
part
wait a
of my
minute. Oh wait a
problem.
minute. Here we go. Now I got filters, crop types, all that stuff. Okay.
Okay, you need to flip over till you can get to it
Grow.
says soil completion
Oh,
and
okay. Yeah, there we go. Um, well,
everything in you can turn off all the other filters if you want. That's what I
okay.
do
So
and just
what
leave the
needs plowing
fertilizer
off? I
on.
needs. Oh, okay. Now I see it. Oh yeah. So I'm over half. Yeah, I shoot without knowing what I was doing or being able to see what I was doing. Yeah, that I there's only a couple like on the corners. There's only a
Yep.
couple little teeny
And
strips.
actually like most people miss a lot bigger spots when they do it that
Uh,
way. So yeah,
so
that's not
yeah.
really
Well,
that bad at
I'm
all.
about half done. I don't know how it. How can I? How can I see a percentage like you were seeing?
Okay, you have to go. So if you're in that menu, you have to go down to. You'll see two pieces of paper.
Yep.
It's on the left side, and you click on that.
Oh, field 3, fertilizing, active. Okay. Pretty. Oh,
Yep,
progress. Okay.
yep,
On it. Oh, so yeah, 54%. Okay.
yep.
Well, All right.
The only thing is, if you get that one complete, you can't finish it though, because we're using that equipment to do other fields. So
Yeah.
the but at least it's something.
Yeah. Okay.
At least I mean, I guess at least it'll be done, and which is what we need. So
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. No, well, that's bad. So, okay. Well, it's about time anyway, and like I
yep.
said, I got to Yeah, I thought just hot swapping my controller would do it. I suppose if I go in the settings, I could remap it or whatever, but I just need to close down and it'll let me
Well, and
do it.
like I said, I'm gonna drive to the next field that I planned on doing, and then yeah, it's 10:30 my time, so that's a good place to stop for tonight, and
Okay.
we'll just we'll just pick up whenever we do this again. So
Okay. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah.
it's a good start because we've so far tonight we've made about $100,000.
Yeah. Well, that's what I see. So that's pretty good.
Yep, yep. Because we bought so much. I bought so much ground, and I did have to cheat a little bit of money in to get all the ground that we needed, but I really didn't have to cheat much. So
Yeah, that's not too bad. No, I like this map. I like the terrain. I like the fields. I mean, I like their big fields. I mean, yes, it takes a long time, but whatever. It's fun to do that and chat
well,
about stuff.
and fertilizing is maybe not the best thing, especially since you don't know how to use GPS very well.
No, I mean,
But
I was gonna try messing with it, but I don't mind
but there's
thinking actually driving.
we'll get into other fun things, and this will be a good map to just keep going, I think, on, and just keep doing what we're doing. And
Yeah, that makes.
like I said, I kind of have an end goal for this map. I think we should at least make one run of whiskey. And I'm not saying that that's where we have to end, but I think that we should definitely at least make one round.
Okay. Okay.
However we however we make that happen. Um, there are other maps I want to multiplayer on, but like I said, some of those are in Mod Hub, and we know Derek can do those, so maybe that's what we do there.
Yeah, I was
Maybe
gonna say we
we
can mix it up when he wants to get in, do something that's easier on him.
and as far as Jason, when we get him on console, I found out tonight we can I can set it so that it shows me the mods that are available on the crossplay.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I saw
so
that. I saw that on there. So yeah, we could. Um.
so we can easily make that happen too when that comes around. And I think Welker Farms and Stone Valley. Well, yeah, no, yeah, Stone Valley was on console in 19. I think both of those would be ones we could do that too with, but first we got to get them on here. So, but
Yeah. Well, I plan on doing this. You know, for a while. And when it gets to be winter time, I know we can maybe do it more just because there's less time to do others. Less we have less projects because the weather doesn't cooperate.
yep, yep, yep. So I just saved everything.
All right. Yeah.
So
Well, I guess I'll